Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another attachment pack update. I know it's been a long time coming and it's been a while since we've done one of these, and I'm sure you guys' patience is growing thin, but trust me, this is quite a big project, and I'm on one of the more difficult humps to get over at the moment, along with real life butting in and some other personal issues. The new update just kind of took a little while to get out, but today we're here checking out some of the new attachments for the combat shotgun, as well as a couple other little sneak peeks I'll give you later in the video. The combat shotgun update, as long as it did take for me to get finished, was actually pretty fun. There were some really cool attachments I was very excited about, especially in regards to a lot of the stock options. Not only ones created by myself and Pig, but even some other additions added by J. Cruz make this weapon a very, very fun and customizable option. One of the key points with the combat shotgun that I wanted to achieve ever since the attachment pack was first thought up is that I wanted to make the combat shotgun feel different from the combat rifle, as in the vanilla game, they just share a lot of the same attachments, and that's pretty boring to me. So I really tried to find the combat shotgun's identity in this pack, and I think we have done so with a lot of the attachments available. Now, as of right now, the combat rifle itself is not finished. That one is definitely going to be the most difficult weapon in this pack. After that, it should be pretty smooth sailing, but I do have some sneak peeks to show you later on in the video. The idea, though, is definitely that I want to lean more into the adaptable style of the combat rifle, making it feel like a proper rifle, and I want to give the shotgun more shotgun-y parts, if that makes sense. So rather than the standard muzzle brake and compensator, we also have some cool shotgun-specific attachments like chokes, and we also have some different aesthetic pieces that really sell its identity. I think the attachments we've made so far have proved to do exactly that, as I threw up some sneak peek images yesterday on a community post, and a lot of you couldn't even tell that this was the combat shotgun anymore, so I think that's a pretty good job well done. I suppose the best way to check this out is just to head over to a weapons workbench and look at all of the new stuff, so let's go ahead and do that right now. So here we are with the combat shotgun that we all know and love, but with the attachment pack, there are some new customization options utilizing Fallout 4's attachment framework that help make it a bit more fun to tinker with. Now, in regards to receivers, we actually haven't added anything, as I'm not sure what we would add. I think that the base game did a pretty good job offering both semi and fully automatic options, with a good bit of customizability inside of it. Any other sort of performance enhancements I would add to this thing may be added in a future mod project I have involving different ammo types. But for barrels, we actually have a good bit of options. So in the base game, we have a short and long barrel, as well as ported versions of each of those. But I've added some more options. I've added a sawn-off version, which is an even shorter barrel than the short barrel, and a marksman barrel, which is even longer than the long barrel. So if you have a mod that adds slugs, this could prove to be a great barrel option for you. And there are also ported versions of each of these new barrels. So we have the ported sawed-off, the ported short, ported long, and ported marksman barrel. And then on top of that, there's even a new heavy option of each of these barrels: a sawed-off heavy barrel, a short heavy barrel, a long heavy barrel, and a marksman heavy barrel. And if that wasn't enough, there is one more barrel option created by the wonderful J. Cruz that I have named the assault barrel. This is sort of an homage to the Spaz 12, not exactly per se, but it's pretty close, and it pairs with another stock option that we have that will come up later in the video. Actually, it's going to come up right now since we are moving to the stocks. I didn't realize that was next. So, in the base game, we have the short stock and full stock, and of course, the very awful marksman and recoil compensating stock that has the wood and metal combo. I haven't changed any of these because the attachment pack is not going to intrude on any of the vanilla assets. I have another mod that will help address those issues. But now we have the addition of the wire stock, sort of a hybrid between short and long that I think offers a pretty cool, unique aesthetic based on an option I actually saw for a modified PPSH in real life. And since the combat shotgun is based on the PPSH, I thought this would be pretty fitting to throw on here. We also have the addition of a comfort stock, which is going to be your standard full stock, but with a modified butt pad that'll help give you a little bit more recoil control, but let you have that classic wood aesthetic. We also have the tactical stock, which is inspired by the Benelli collapsible stock, and surprisingly fits really, really well on the base recoil stock. I also added a matte swap here that will get rid of the wooden handguard and make it into a nice black color to match the rest of the plastic, which I think looks really, really cool and helps to give this a sort of different look. As we move down the line, we also have a light stock, which does the same thing. This is going to be more of a rifle stock and is actually based on one of the stocks for the hunting shotgun in Fallout 76. This idea was by Pig, and I think that it came out really, really cool. I'm actually quite proud of this, and I think it looks really awesome on this gun. Moving down, we then have that assault stock I was talking about. This is a Spaz-inspired stock created by J. Cruz, and I think it looks really, really cool on this weapon. You can pair it with that assault barrel for the complete look, but of course you can mix and match the options as you please. And I kind of tweaked J. Cruz's original design to change up how it looks and also make it so that you can fold it for the classic folded Spaz look, which looks awesome on the combat shotgun. I think it's super, super cool, and there's kind of a hidden surprise with this one. I did tweak the model so that you can actually use scopes with it. Not only all of the iron sights, but every single reflex sight, and even the scopes from my West-Tech Optics pack all work with this. There's only one very minor amount of clipping, and that is with the full scope. If we throw that on, you'll see that it does clip just a little bit right here with its dial, but the rest of it actually fits inside, although it wouldn't work great. You shouldn't put these two together, but theoretically you could in real life. It just wouldn't be a good idea. So the same idea is true here, but if you were to throw on, say, a reflex sight, it totally works. You can just use it right inside the stock there, and it's totally functional. I'm only just now realizing that I didn't add any magazines to the shotgun. It wasn't something that was present on my mind, so as of right now, it's just the standard medium and drum mag, and to be honest, I don't see what else we would add. If anything, maybe a large magazine that's sort of in between the medium and the drum mag, but why not just use a drum mag at that point? So for now, I suppose we're going to leave it that way, though if you guys have any ideas, by all means, leave them in the comments. I will be checking if you have any ideas of what we could add in this section. As for the scopes, nothing has changed here, as in terms of optics, we're not adding a whole lot to the attachment pack. That's saved for extra packs like the West-Tech Optics pack. But for muzzles, we do have a couple new options here. We have the standard no muzzle option, of course, a bayonet, compensator, muzzle brake, but we also have now the addition of a choke, which will help tighten that spread. Perfect to throw on with long barrels if you want to make this thing as accurate as possible. Additionally, like other weapons in this pack, on top of the regular suppressor, we have added a heavy suppressor, which will get rid of that range debuff on typical suppressors and make it so you can actually use this thing and still be pretty functional at range. And I also really like the profile of this salvo style suppressor on the combat shotgun. I think it looks really cool. Now, one thing I do want to talk about in this update, since we're on the topic of shotguns, while making some of the stocks for the combat shotgun, I also went and updated the double barrel shotgun, as there were a couple of stocks I wanted to add, including the, let me find it here, light stock, which is taken from that combat shotgun and tweaked to fit this mesh, and I have to say, it looks pretty cool. Much like the combat shotgun, I added a black recolor, so now you have a totally different looking synthetic style for the double barrel shotgun for those of you who want that. Not super tactical or anything like that, but definitely fitting in Fallout 4's aesthetic, I think. We also have the addition of a gunslinger stock, something I forgot to add. This will increase your reload speed. See the shells here on the side. Something I wanted to do originally, but for some reason just never made it in because I completely forgot about it. And then finally, we have a tactical stock, taking the vanilla combat rifle and combat shotgun stock and throwing that on here. That actually looks pretty cool. I'm quite happy with this, and I'm surprised to see that it fits the animations, so this is another option that you'll have in this pack. Now, that's basically everything as far as the shotguns are concerned. There may be small tweaks here and there before final release, but that's pretty much everything that's going to show up in these videos. As for the combat rifle, that's going to be my primary focus by the time we get the next video out. I should have a lot to show you guys. Now, this is going to be a huge undertaking because not only are we doing all of the attachments for the combat rifle, but I'm also going to be reduxing my combat rifle remesh to make it as compatible with the attachment pack as possible. You may have seen some minor peeks at the weapon here and there in other videos and maybe on screen now, but this is going to include completely redesigned receivers, magazines, and different parts to actually make the weapon look a bit different from the combat shotgun, again, giving it its own identity while still fitting the lore that it was a repurposed combat weapon. So there'll be more on that in the future. Hopefully you'll get some little looks at it on screen now, but I'm not going to divulge too much just yet. Just know that it's going to have its own suite of attachments that are completely different and hopefully make the weapon feel like its own weapon and hopefully make it a little bit more fun to use, because the combat rifle in the base game is just a tad bit boring. So yeah, that is the attachment pack. Sorry this update took so long. Again, life has just been kinda crazy lately, but I'm working to get back to my normal upload schedule. Things are just kinda wild. As always, I'll have more for you guys very, very soon. Anytime I get something done, I either post it here on YouTube or in the Discord. If you want more regular updates, the Discord is definitely the way to get it, but it's up to you if you're into that kind of thing. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to drop a rating, it really helps out the channel, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. As always, a big shout out to all of my patrons for supporting every single video, and a very special thank you to Backbone, Danny, Freedom, Glasma, Indecisive Wolf, Logan Rigmaiden, Madly Matt, Mikerhan, Moonlit Gamer, Oscar, Scott, Sterling, Timmy76, Youth RC, and Voider for joining that Tier 3 Patreon membership. You guys are awesome. If you'd like to support the channel over on Patreon, you can do so using the link down in the description, but it is completely optional. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace!